Okay, it's official. Boris Johnson has returned and been chosen by the grassroots members of the Conservative Party to fight the upcoming general election. Now, what does this actually mean for the cabinet and the wider Tory party? Because, of course, if you've got the local members of the Conservatives who are supportive of Boris Johnson, especially in his constituency, at the same time, Tory HQ or CCHQ have a different plan because when it comes to, not necessarily when it comes to with Boris, but the issue of local parties, associations that you have across the country and grassroots members who are relatively more conservative than the leadership of the party and the management of the party. So the people who work at the top of CCHQ in London, and of course the MPs and cabinet ministers, by a wide margin compared to the other side. The party management is very liberal, is more left-wing, is more authoritarian, it's very out of touch, but the actual grassroots members are more conservative and more true patriots. But now the clash will continue because Boris Johnson has been reselected, and the last election that he had, he managed to get 52% of the vote, almost 53% actually, of the vote. It was a big turnout, 68% turnout, and 7,210 majority for his seat. Now, is this going to be a challenge? Because some people are saying because of the way Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss have turned the party into a loser party, the Tories are not doing well in the opinion polls, and they'll be losing so many seats as it stands, including his own, Boris Johnson's own Uxbridge seats. So that is going to be quite tricky. Now, the statement that we have is, this is obviously from yesterday. It says, tonight, the Uxbridge and South Ruislip Selection Committee re-adopted Boris Johnson as our parliamentary candidate. We look forward to continuing to work alongside him to deliver for the residents and communities within the constituency where he has strong connections and involvement. His commitment to deliver a new Hillingdon hospital for Uxbridge and South Ruislip residents remains at the forefront of his work as our local MP. Now, considering there were a lot of rumours about Boris Johnson moving from that seat to go and find a safer constituency, and there were a lot of rumours about him taking over from Nadine Dorries, because that seat is slightly safer than Boris Johnson's. But that would have been a very, very bad look. Parachuting candidates and MPs from this place to that place, even though they have no roots or links to that constituency. It's not something I'm not really in favour of. But Boris Johnson has other problems as well. Because this coming Wednesday, in about 3 days, he is going to be appearing in front of the Privileges Committee over the Partygate issues. Is still going on, by the way, which is quite embarrassing for the country. And Wednesday, we're going to have Harriet Harman and all her left-wing minions of that committee, Privileges Committee, which is basically a British version of impeachment process. They're so scared of Boris Johnson still that they want to make sure that they could kick him out, so that he doesn't become a threat and becomes a leader and take over the Tory party and becomes prime minister again, instead of actually focusing on providing better policies for Keir Starmer so that the Labour Party could win by merit. No. They want to block Boris Johnson and anything they could do just in case he comes back as party leader. The embarrassing situation with this is that, according to Boris Johnson and his people, we heard today that he now has a very strong defense dossier that he's prepared for Wednesday, which we'll be covering on this channel, by the way. So he's got perfectly all the evidence, apparently, that will be exonerating him when it comes to this select committee, this Privileges Committee. But we don't know how this is going to go. On the one hand, people said Sue Gray undermining her own role as the investigator of Partygate by leaving civil service and getting a job as Keir Starmer's chief of staff. That's already helped Boris Johnson to completely shatter the credibility of this investigation. But on the other hand, they say that there is more to publish against Boris Johnson. So Wednesday is going to be a big day. While the Westminster bubble are going to be focusing on the usual nonsense and gossips. We are going to be talking about more important issues affecting our country instead of politicians' egos. So we're going to talk about later on today. Every half an hour, we're going to come to you guys on this channel today. We're going to give you the latest update on the SNP's leadership election, and of course, the latest on ULEZ and net zero policies, as well as the illegal migration ban of Suella Braverman, because we have some good news on that front as well. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.